Here we go. All right. Welcome to episode 26 of Stream Roulette. I'm Daniel Towns with Steph Broadbridge. Hello.
Hello.
And this week we watched...
Glow Up, Britain's Next Makeup Star.
And yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. Welcome to episode 26 of Stream Roulette. I'm Steph Broadbridge and I'm here with Daniel Towns. How are you, Daniel?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm lying. I'm not good. Are you lying too?
Yeah, I'm lying.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It's been so fun. I got back from the Gold Coast on Friday at about 5:30.
Yeah.
I went into my apartment ready to have my own bed and amenities.
Yeah, after a week or what away?
After 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah.
And I hadn't paid my power bill and they've disconnected my electricity.
How long did that take to get back on?
It's not on yet.
It's still not on?
No, because it's the weekend and Ozgrid closes at 3 p.m.
So when did you get back?
Friday.
Well, afternoon.
Yeah, at 5:30. So it was dark, so I couldn't see.
So what have you been doing?
Well, I packed some mystery clothes and I'm staying at my mum's house.
Okay, well, at least you've got that option, but still, like that's rough.
But I packed in the dark and I had a gig that night, so I had no idea what I looked like or... I did my makeup in pitch black, which is pretty good for this show. That could have been one of the...
That could have been one of the challenges.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty... I haven't had a power outage, I don't think, since I was a child.
Yeah.
Like, experienced that kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't a power outage. It was my fault. I didn't pay my bill. And I don't think they just turn it off if you miss one. So I've missed a few, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, usually they send warning letters. I mean, they even give you a thing that says, hey, do you need an extension?
Yeah.
So...
Probably.
You don't check your mail?
I don't check my mail.
Because I don't check, like, I haven't checked the mail in ages.
Yeah.
And then, like, Amanda just got back from 3.5 weeks in Canada and she's like, have you checked the mail? I'm like, no.
No.
That's because, like, well, all the important stuff I've switched to digital.
Exactly.
So anyone that's contacted me via paper mail, like, it's either a fine.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see that.
That I don't want. Money that I owe someone.
Yeah. So, no power. But how have you been? How's your week?
Yeah, it's been, oh, look, it's been pretty good. I've just felt a bit run down, that's all. Had a bit of a cough and a cold. And
do you have any fun? You did the comedy store, right?
yeah, I did.
Yeah? How was that?
Yeah, it was great fun.
Yeah?
It was really good fun. Yeah. And then I was up at that lake house thing on...
Oh, the Gosford one I was meant to do.
Yeah.
Tell me how that went.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, the show itself was great. Like, the people stuck around all day. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and the venue has a nice venue. They had on cheap meals. Like, I ordered a meal and I was like, like a burger, and it was $10.
Yeah.
And I said to Harry, June, I said, what, is this going to be like a slider? Like $10?
Yeah, $10.
But they had like some special menu. So they had drink specials and food specials all day. And it was kind of outdoors in a little marquee kind of thing.
Wow.
But it wasn't like a... I mean, it still was, but it's there permanently as part of the venue.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just an outdoor area for the venue kind of thing. So there's like space heaters out there and it's like set up properly. It wasn't just
I was going to say, I love those gigs when it seems like it's going to be a disaster and then it just works.
Oh, no, but it did, because next to it on the other side is like a caravan park or something.
Yeah.
So they're so far away.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no noise bleed or anything. But the thing was, when I got on, and I picked it too before, while I was on stage, because I was on it. Between 4:30 and 5:30, and I got on at 5:10. Mm-hmm. And I said, who wants to bet all those birds outside kick off in the next 10 minutes? Like, just because, you know, birds at sunset or whatever. Yeah. And 10 minutes later, it was just squawk, squawk, squawk. But it was really fun. The only hard thing was, like, the first thing Darren said when I saw him was, no crowd work. It's all been done in the first show.
Of course.
You know, he goes, we know everything. Like,
yeah.
And because it's the same audience all day.
Because it started at 3, right?
Yeah.
And it went till...
7:30.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's not too bad though. Like it was 4 1-hour shows. Maybe it started earlier. It was 4 1-hour shows with 30 minutes in between. Mm-hmm. So I mean, even for the punters, because they could go, all right, let's miss it at 4:30 and
then come back,
or just let's go let's get a nice cheap meal.
Yeah.
Have a drink, and then we'll catch the next one. Or we'll just
sit through the whole thing.
Or just walk back in and catch what the last act of that one, you know? Like, it was a pretty relaxed...
I love that.
Experience. Yeah, it was a really good gig. Just, you know, it's just those drives. But I went up with Harry, which was good. He messaged me as I was leaving. He's like, do you want a lift? And I rang him and I said, where do you live? And he's like, Redfern. And I'm like, I'm in Redfern. And I picked him up and we drove up together.
Awesome. So, he's the sweetest.
Yeah.
He's beautiful, warm, the opposite of me at a gig, basically. Just like happy to be there, really positive.
Yeah.
Or smiles.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good drive.
Yeah.
It was a good chat. There's not too many people. It's not that there's not too many people I want in my car. Like, it's like driving to gigs. It's like, I mean, if it's a long drive, it's easy to get distracted. And like, I'm on one of those interim licenses at the moment. So I can't afford to go 83 in an 80 zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so like, I've really got to be careful and, you know, just not like it's a gamble. Like maybe I should have lost my license. What would you have done? Like the option was lose my license for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then it's back.
Yeah.
Like with full points. But I would have had to have like used public transport for 3 months, or get the interim license where I can drive around, but I've got 2 points for a year.
Oof.
And if I lose those, the original penalty is doubled. So then I lose my license for 6 months. So what would you do?
I love that that's the system. Like, it's like make a deal with the devil rules. Like, it's so weird.
Oh, but it's such a bad deal. Like, 2 points for a year is fucked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because 2 of them
considering how much you drive and how far you drive.
Well, I need it for work.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I opted into that one.
Yeah,
like
I would have taken that as well.
Like, if all my gigs in the next few months were in Sydney, I probably would have sucked it up. What are you laughing at?
The idea of all your gigs being in Sydney and being able to live off that is really funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny, actually. But yeah, I was looking at it and it's like, oh, here, there, everywhere. And it's like, oh, nah, I got to roll these dice.
Yeah, and but then, so far so good.
Well, I think so. I haven't checked the mail.
You don't have a car. I don't have a house. We're killing it.
To be honest, I only found out about 2 of them when I went in and checked on one of them.
Yeah.
Because I knew one was there.
Yeah.
And then I went in and I saw the other 2 and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But one of them I knew happened. It was going into a tunnel. And like it just dips straight away.
Yeah.
But it stays on 60 for ages and you just got to ride your brakes so hard. And there's a camera in that part and that got me. God. And it's like, but those tunnels have average speed cameras.
Right.
Like if they're going to, you know what I mean? If they're going to give you a fine for going 86 in an 80 zone or whatever, they should at least look at your average speed through the entire tunnel. And if it comes in at like...
But that's less money for them.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously. It's all about, the commerce side of things. Yeah, but yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting. I'm rolling those dice at the moment.
Well, I hosted my first fundraiser gig on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yep, for a netball club.
Yeah. Oh, you hosted it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everything that could have been thrown at me was thrown at me with that one.
Oh, really?
Yep. They had a raffle. They also had a lucky draw prize. They also had envelopes under your seat.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They also had surprise buffet. They also had the headliner was also hosting a gig down the road and we didn't know when they were going to arrive. So that was just another spanner to throw into the mix. We also had somebody...
What, you had to kill time till they got there?
Yeah. So the person setting it up hadn't done it before. So we didn't know how to get the music turned on. And then it was so funny. And then the organizer, every time I went on stage, she came and stood next to me because she had information for me. So I was sitting back there for most of the time. But anytime I went up to the stage and finally got everyone's attention and got them seated and ready to listen to comedy, she'd come up with some more information for me.
Oh, God.
It was honestly like a prank at my expense. It was just...
How was the show otherwise?
It was fine.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes as the host, you just got to suck, like, not.
I did so much admin.
Yeah, sometimes you're just taking bullets.
Yeah, I was literally taking bullets. It was like, I was at the point where I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to do one joke, you're going to laugh, and then I'm going to bring on the next act because this is just happening now because it's now almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to, I think that's when you get
so many raffle prizes.
Well, that's bad. I think it gets to the point where with MCing though, like you do get to a point where you go, you know what? They're the ones that turn you off doing it.
Yeah.
The ones where it is just admin.
Yeah.
Because it's like MC in the comedy store or like a proper comedy night is fine because you still get to do comedy.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're just putting out fires and taking bullets and essentially just being a body for them to, you know, wait to have, I don't know, have you ever had to fall back on, don't worry everyone, there's some comedians coming up soon. Like, have you ever had to fall back on that?
I mean, I wasn't at that stage yet. I was still trying to pretend I was funny, but like, wow, brutal. Like a real like, here's your first one. Here's everything that could possibly happen.
Yeah, right. Oh well.
It felt like a corporate. Like.
It really
felt like a corporate because it was just so much admin.
How'd everyone else do?
Fine.
All right. Well, you'll appreciate this story. So I bailed on a gig on the weekend because I got some gigs opening for someone. Mm-hmm. And pulled out of the wrong gig, like the wrong weekend.
No.
So there's another conversation to be had. I mean, it still worked out well in the end because, like, I don't think it was doable.
Yeah.
Travel-wise, in the way I've been feeling, like I haven't been feeling too well, like. So, yeah. So I think it worked out all right, but like I've still got the others to pull out. Like, what a fuck up.
Oh my God.
What an absolute fuck up.
Comedy is so hard. Just to add to like all the craziness that happened to me this week, I've also had my first teaching job. So now I'm teaching comedy sometimes.
Yeah, right.
And it was a 6-hour class. My first time ever teaching. That was also on the Saturday.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and I'm like brand new to being full-time comedy, right? So I'm making every mistake you can make and like just making it so hard for myself, like not paying power bills and like paying way too much for accommodation and packing too many things. And then these beautiful, bright-eyed kids are like, tell us about comedy. And I'm like, oh, it's great. You'll love it.
At least you're honest.
It's the best.
Like, I've done those class clowns things.
Yeah.
Comedy Festival. And then every year with Comedy Zone, they have like a...
Yes, someone that comes and like directs it, creative directs it kind of.
I'd say more work. I mean, it depends what the person themselves wants to take out of it. But I just listened to what they said and who they were on stage and gave guidance based off that. Like, I wasn't trying to... Yeah. It's not my show.
No, you're just trying
to... It's 5 acts. It's 5 new acts doing 12 minutes. And I've done that kind of stuff. And I find it quite fun. But, I mean, those ones are already in it seriously. But the class clowns ones, they're hard.
Because that's kids, right?
Yeah, like usually 12,
high school?
12 to 17 kind of thing. But like you find out pretty quickly which ones are serious and which ones are there for a day off school and, you know, who is just the class clown. Yeah, and who's just funny. You know what I mean? And then you see things like Aaron Chen started in class clowns. And that's wild. Yeah. You know, like to think he's going to be one of those people. These students were really good. They were good. Yeah. They were really talented. Were they? Mix from like 14 to 50 something. Yeah, right. 19 to 50 something. But like I was just in such a bad place to be positive about doing it for a job. Well, I reckon with that kind of thing, as long as you sound positive and upbeat about it, like there's only so much you can teach. It's a good thing for them. It'd be interesting to know statistically. You should keep a log over time of the people that do the course and the ones that keep going. Because I started off a course. Yeah? And because at the end there was a performance and I knew that would be enough to get me to do it. Like actually give it a go. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to know the statistics of how many keep it up. Well, I think people who are willing to do a course first end up being better often because they don't assume that they know everything already. Because I think
you spend the first 5 years of comedy just like realizing you didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And if you do a course, you kind of know that, you kind of learn that quicker.
Well, I mean, the one I went to was bloody improv anyway.
Oh, okay.
Like, I had no idea. Like, I missed a bunch of them. Like, they were like, oh, that one's not funny. That's not funny. And then I did them on the performance night. They fucking killed. And I'm the only one still doing it. That's why I said it'll be interesting to see how many. Because, I mean, people do it for different reasons too.
Oh, yeah. Some of them just want to get more confidence. Yeah. It was really interesting, the reasons they wanted to do it. Just cheat. Just take some Dexies. You'll be a hero. Should we jump in?
Let's go. What was it?
So we watched Glow Up.
Yeah.
And so I will give you the blurb, which is a talented group of aspiring makeup artists attempt to prove their potential to industry professionals in a makeup competition.
Yeah.
But I think The Guardian had a better description of it, which was Bake Off for makeup.
Okay.
Which is exactly what it was, basically.
Yeah, I pretty much felt like it was that or the cake show, but with makeup. Like, it was extremely creative. It was very...
Yeah.
Like, it was impressive.
It was, yeah. How much did you watch?
I watched 3, and then I started the 4th one this afternoon just earlier, but I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then, so I don't know.
It's very watchable.
I know it is. And, like, I found the CGI, the special effects one interesting. You know, I didn't like some of the criticism from the judges. I mean, in the first episode, one of them got criticised about, you know, when they did it for the photo shoot.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's one thing making them look good, you know, off camera, but you got to make them look good on camera. And then one of them got criticised because there was a big, like, white light in the middle of the other person, like in the middle of the model's forehead.
Yeah.
Like it was reflecting from the lighting.
Yeah.
But every single other person had it. And to cause that, like, you've got a light on you now, but it's not directly in front of you.
Right.
So the thing is, like, here on this, you know what I mean? So for that light to even be there.
So you're saying it's the lighting person, not the makeup person?
No, it was full on. Like, it was full on front. Like, you can use more foundation and concealer and whatever.
Thank you.
No, not you. But you can also turn the lighting down. Or alternatively, like, put the lights at an angle where that's not going to happen. Because, like, proper people that are shooting for, what was it for, Mary Claire?
Yeah, I think so.
They should know how to light a subject so that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? No matter how bad the makeup is.
Yeah, but it's a makeup competition.
Yeah, no, I know, but you can't criticise a photo when... Like, I just don't think it's fair to criticise someone's makeup on photo when that had a massive part of it and everyone else had exactly the same problem and it wasn't mentioned.
Yeah,
It was almost like that was the only thing they could find wrong with that one. Because I noticed it on all of them.
Okay.
You know, it's like, oh, they've all got you can see the reflection of the light on their forehead. Like, it's directly in front of them. Anyway, small gripe. I just thought that was a... Yeah.
So I skipped through season 1 because I accidentally watched season 3.
Yeah.
Because in Netflix, as you know, it starts at the most recent one with reality TV.
Yeah.
So, and then you go backwards. So I do apologise. I don't know explicit details from season 1, but they did have the same competitions. They just had different.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah. It's interesting. It's still the same shit. Like, the ones I watched were beauty.
Yep.
Special effects. And what was the third one?
Well, they do like an
Editorial,
industry. They do an industry activity, and then they do a creative activity, and they get judged on both for each episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really interesting seeing which ones could kind of translate the skills and which ones could only do what they wanted to do.
Yeah, or what they knew how to do. Like, they've learned a skill on, you know, got a following on TikTok because they could draw flowers with makeup or...
Now, I studied makeup artistry.
Really? I got to say, after watching that, though, it's like, oh, wow, like, this is an art. Like, when it's when it's done...
Yeah, and I did it over 20 years ago, so none of my skills would be useful or relevant now because it all changes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Or the technology changes and what's fashionable changes.
But even like
but I know some basics, and it was interesting watching the people what you could tell the ones that had studied it, and the ones that just self-taught because it's very different putting makeup on yourself than it is doing it on somebody else. And there's a lot of like rookie errors that you make that you just would get laughed out of the industry for doing. Like one of the big ones is you should never put your hand on someone's head.
Yeah.
And everyone does that instinctively. If you're going to draw something on someone's face, your first instinct is to go, it's like...
Why don't you though?
Because it's personal space and it's intrusive.
Well, yeah, obviously, but it doesn't affect the makeup then?
But it affects the experience.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
Yeah, so when it's just models and they're like stock standard models, it doesn't matter. But if you're doing it on somebody famous, you're never going to...
Yeah,
they're never going to hire you again.
Yeah, and you wouldn't do it in the first place, would you?
Yeah, and then another thing that we learned that I thought was really interesting is if you're doing it on someone's eye, right, makeup on someone's eye, if you just go straight, like if you poke like that or put your hand forward, everyone's instinct is to flinch.
Yeah.
But so to avoid that, you have to kind of tap lightly next to their eye and then you apply it.
Makeup tips with Steph.
Yeah, but I just like, it was interesting because a lot of them weren't doing any of those and I was watching it. It was driving me mental.
Okay, that's interesting.
With the absolutely very small, like minute information I know from 20 years ago doing a Petersham TAFE certificate 2, I was screaming at the screen. So I can only imagine what makeup artists must feel watching it.
I don't know though, because when it came to the results, like some of them are pretty stunning. Like what
that looks amazing.
What they did with the eyes. And
Yeah.
there was like a transformation one they did in one of the episodes where they fully just like...
Yeah, the creative stuff was so good.
Yeah.
I hated the stories though. I found that really annoying.
Well, there was one that I did quite like in season 1. I can't remember her name, unfortunately, but she was an African woman and she was like, in my country, like, this is not a traditional career path. Oh my God, my work's
It's not a traditional career path in any country.
But my work's kind of like, she won the first round, so her work was going to be featured in like a magazine, and like she was just like, just her excitement, you know, like it was really like the rest of them. I swear, the rest of them in season 1, it felt like you could play like just game of like weird looking person, guess who? Is it the guy with the twirly mustache who looks like he rides a penny farthing and wears really strange jumpers? You know?
Oh yeah, like, so he's the judge, right?
Is he?
The curly moustache guy. He's one of the judges. Yeah.
And he's got pretty cool jumpers though.
He does have cool jumpers. He featured in our artwork for this week.
Oh, right, nice. I do. I like his jumpers. I thought, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. The other thing I found, like this, and it's not just specific to this reality show, it's all reality shows. It's just, part of me is just really annoyed that we're rewarding people who aren't as good as professionals and we're watching them do something. Because they're not professionals. They're very good amateurs and they're very talented. But at the end of the day, there's people who have been in the makeup industry for 40 years whose no one has ever heard of, and they're the best in the business, and they are not on this show.
Sounds like you're describing the comedy industry.
But it's like that across the board. Like the cooking ones. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not. Yeah, nothing.
Part of me is like, can't we just get the best people at this to do it? Like, does it have to be people who don't know what they're doing with a sad story? Like,
I guess that's more interesting from a TV perspective. Like, because if you had just some white dude on there going, oh yeah, so I grew up in Kent. Well, for starters, he wouldn't talk like that. He'd have a proper accent. You know, I went to a public school, which is a private school over there.
Yeah.
And never really had any hardship.
But I don't care. I just want to see how good they are at stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it should be the best of the best.
Yeah, I mean, but then I don't know why that's not... I mean, that's still a really good show. Like, I'd watch that. I mean, maybe not everyone would, but I would love to see people... Aren't you fascinated by people who are just really skilled at something? Like, you can watch that for hours.
Yeah.
I'd watch a plumber if he was really good at it.
Really?
Yes.
A plumber?
Anything.
Doing what?
Plumbing.
Yeah, but on what?
With aptitude, I would watch it.
Yeah, hopefully not in the bathroom, but...
I'd watch the bathroom.
Really?
If it was skilled, yes.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't know. What are you doing? What's that thing?
Yeah.
What's that S-bend?
Yeah, but it's interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
Just get the people who are the best at it to do it.
No, I completely agree. But then it's all like, I mean... whatever country's got talent or whatever country's cooking shows. Like you said, all the reality shows. Would people tune in as much if it was like that level of...
Well, I don't know. But we've never tried it to find out, you know, like...
But imagine having contestants that were just as good as the judges.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how...
Like raw comedy.
No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there needs to be a level of, all right, we've got some experts and professionals here, and
well, I mean,
it's the same thing. It's like comedy competitions.
They've got more money, they've got more acclaim, so on that level they'd have more skills, like maybe not technical skills, but industry skills.
Oh, definitely. But
so you could have a famous person judging someone who's just really accomplished but isn't famous.
But I mean, maybe they did reach out to those people, but their careers are established enough that they don't need the...
Maybe, but I don't think so, based on the sob stories and the necessity for the sob stories and how much of that made it into the narrative. It's felt
true.
like that was more of the... Which is absolutely textbook for all reality TV. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. I just want to see a show where it's the best people doing stuff.
Hey, at least there are diverse casts now. Do you remember the original reality TV
Yeah,
show?
true.
You know, so small steps. But no, I agree. Like, yeah, I do agree. But I just don't know if people would want to watch that because it seems like they're like gen pop, like, you know, 9 to 5ers.
Yeah.
But like watching... Like, I talk to some people that still talk about regular TV, and I'm like, I don't even have an aerial plugged in. Like, what are you talking about? Channel
true.
10. Like,
I mean, regular TV, most of them are watching reality TV on regular TV. Like, that's the most popular, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
On free to air, you're looking at reality TV as the best.
The best you can get.
Well, it's the most popular, I think.
I think that's because it's just easy to consume as well.
Yeah,
like
it is.
The building shows.
And this was so easy to consume.
Like if you're a man, you know, the building shows are like, oh yeah, I like that. I'd love to do those kind of things to my house. Or if,
then get people who are really good at renovating houses, not like a couple that's about to fall apart.
Yeah, but that's where...
Having a crack at a kitchen. Like,
that's where the entertainment value... All right, we've got 4 couples and they're all going to turn over one room.
One of them's a carpenter and the other one is an interior designer and they know what they're doing. I would watch that.
Yeah, that's true.
It can still have the competitive element.
All right, out of all the reality shows we've seen, what do you reckon the best one's been?
Oh, great question.
Because mine would definitely be Is It Cake?
Is It Cake?
No, fuck no.
Okay.
That was a photo that got turned into a TV show.
It was a meme. Gosh. I mean, this was pretty good.
This one was?
Yeah,
I thought so.
There was a lot going on. My personal favourite reality TV show is RuPaul's Drag Race. That is my favourite by a lot.
Yeah.
So this had one element of RuPaul's Drag Race, which is the makeup artistry and the transformation.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm biased because, I'm obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay, I've never actually seen it.
It's like this, but better.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because it's like makeup, it's also costumes. They make their own clothes and then they lip sync or they do roast, like they roast each other and it's got like comedy elements. So it's like a one-stop shop for everything you want out of reality TV. There's drama. It's got everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that sounds all right.
Yeah.
I got to say, though, since doing this show, I've actually enjoyed watching, like, some of the brainless shit.
Yeah.
Like, stuff that I'd never watch.
Oh, man. Like, after a stressful week, this was such a joy. Like, this was an absolute
this one was
pleasure.
easy. That's
like,
why
I just
put more
sat
on
through.
Today.
Yeah.
Because my computer started giving me the shits.
Yeah, this is going on anytime I'm just like, not really watching and just want something on. I'm going to watch every other season of this show.
Do you know what I watched last night? All in one go that I kind of wish came up for the podcast.
Yeah.
The Most Hated Man on the Internet.
Ooh.
Have you heard anything about that?
No, I just saw the like credit, what do you call it? The promo for it.
Yeah, right. So this guy basically, he had a website. He basically invented revenge porn.
Oh.
He had a website that anonymous users could upload those photos to, but there were no laws against it. But then one very determined mother, she started following him and his patterns. And this guy was a god. Like, I'd never heard of the guy, but I'm talking like that, who's that PewDiePie level of
Yeah, right.
Following online.
Yeah. So
he had a hashtag like the family of all
huge
his
YouTube
fans.
star.
Yeah, like no, just online, mainly Twitter and all that kind of stuff. And he did podcasts, but his whole thing was he didn't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. And like, it's all right, bitch, I'll get you pregnant later, you know, kind of thing when he's on the microphone. And just a real fucking degenerate. But
just knew how to speak to that demographic.
But this mother found out that like her daughter's email had been hacked. Mm-hmm. And at first I was a bit like, oh, come on. You know, I'd say that too. You know, but then it turns out
it actually was
a week earlier, like all her accounts had been compromised. And what someone had done, this guy was paying someone else like $200 a day, I think, or $200 a week to hack as many accounts as he could. But what he'd do, he'd use your phone and like message a contact or whatever and go, oh, hey, I've been locked out of... but I can't get the verification thing because my phone's dead. Can I text it to your phone and then you send it? But he's getting into their account. Oh. And then straight away he locks them out of their accounts and goes through all their photos and everything, forwards on any nudes or anything to this guy. Not forwards them on, like just uploads them to this site. Yeah. Like it was insane. Like she went to the cops. They didn't really pay attention. The FBI got involved. There was an an ex-Marine whose radar he crossed, who was just like, all right, it is now my personal mission to fucking destroy this guy. And then what he ended up doing, he realised the guy needed money. And first he started advertising on it. And he felt really bad giving him money for advertising because of the content on the site. But at the same time, he wanted to develop a relationship with him because like in the military, it's all know your enemy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then when he got to a point when he realised the guy was really struggling for money, he put together an offer to buy the website. Yeah. On the condition that the guy that ran it, like, wrote this apology letter to all the victims and why he'd done it, all that. And the guy sold it. Mm-hmm. And then he redirected the domain name to an anti-bullying website that he ran. Yeah. Because he was bullied as a kid. So that was kind of funny. But even Anonymous got involved. Wow. Like it got so far. The guy's name is Hunter Moore. Like I've never heard of the guy, but it even got to the point where there was the Anonymous video with the mask. Yeah. And the fucked up voice and whatnot. And they even had him, he was legally dead for a month. Like they wiped him off the face of the earth. Like they shut down the entire site, like all the backups, so he could never get it back up. And like he got time, but not much for what he did, but because there wasn't law in place.
It's so funny, like you're describing this to me and I realised you're describing exactly what I wanted, which was a reality TV show about someone who's the best at something.
No, but it was horrible. And his fault, like it felt like, and it was 2012. Which was weird. It was
wow, so it was real early.
No, but it was kind of recent still. But like one of the photos would go up, and then like he'd write something under it, like, "Oh, what do we think of this slut?" And then it'd be thousands of comments or whatever, or all derogatory, all horrible. But then like there's death threats going to the mother that's trying to track him down. Look, it was a good show. But it wasn't easy to watch.
It's not an easy watch.
Yeah, like it was one of those where it's like, this is just horrible. But the weirdest thing was...
Let's just give him a makeover.
He just didn't give a fuck. Yeah. Like at the sentencing...
It sounds like a sociopath.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. At the sentencing, the guy that was doing the email hacking, because two of the victims were there, and one of them, he apologised to her. Mm-hmm. And the other guy didn't. Like the guy whose side it was didn't. Like at one stage he was, and also if you posted your photo, it's not just your photo. Like he'd link
all of your details,
like all your Facebook, everything there. Yeah. And then once the FBI went after him, and then he's talking about a new site that he's working on, and then he's like, this next one's going to cause murders because it was going to include addresses.
Oh my god!
And, like, maps. Like the guy was a psycho, and he only got 30 months. Out of it, which is hardly anything.
I mean, they don't have the laws haven't caught up to online.
Well, 46 states now, I think, have revenge porn laws. It said at the end, but there's no federal law.
Yeah, wow.
But the best part about the whole documentary was right at the end of it. It said, we asked Hunter Moore to be featured in this documentary, but he declined.
Yeah.
But then we used his image anyway.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that was really good.
Man.
It was very clever.
Well, that's 2 recommendations from us this week then.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it called? The most hated?
The most hated man on the internet.
Yeah.
But, like, don't watch it if you're in a good mood.
Yeah. Watch Glow Up if you're in a good mood.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you just want to see something fun and creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, like if that's your kind of thing, I'd recommend it. I mean, it's definitely not my kind of show.
No.
But like, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, yeah.
Very watchable.
Yeah. What do we got next week?
Next week, I believe we have the Shania Twain.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Oh,
that'll
be good. What's that, a movie or a documentary?
It's like a documentary / biopic.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Who? Shania Twain.
Yeah.
Which ones did she do again? I Feel Like a Woman.
Man, I Feel Like a Woman. You're putting me on the spot.
Okay, that's enough. I know that one.
And other songs. She started as country and then she became pop.
Yes. Yeah, right.
That one, the one.
That'll be fun.
Maybe. I'm excited.
So I was just about to say you're a fan, but clearly not, because you'd know more than one song if you were. I'm
not a fan.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Me too. Because like obviously I know that song and it's catchy, so it's like her other ones must be catchy too.
Yeah, she's got a few.
Okay, all right. Well,
should be good.
Let's do it. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.